Hey guys, what's up? This is Dan Baird with episode 1 of the Rumination Project, and today we are going to talk about why I am doing a podcast. Stay tuned. So we are already into the year 2022. I can't really believe that. 2021 blew by, and snow welcomed us here in Quincy, Illinois. And I hope everybody is having a safe and a wonderful first day of the year, probably inside their house, staying warm like I am. And today I wanted to talk about why I decided to start a podcast this year. And if you guys didn't know, I last year I went through a lot of stuff in my life. I decided to use magic mushrooms to treat my bipolar issues, and I found a lot of healing through it. I found a lot of my own trauma that I faced my whole life, and I learned a lot of things that I wanted to share, especially about mental health. I think we are entering a time in our society where we are having some serious mental health issues, and you can clearly see it in our high schools. 1 out of 4 high school students, in fact, have a major depressive disorder, and that's a pretty significant statistic that we are dealing with as a society that is extremely troubling. I think that we don't talk about our mental health enough. We don't try to understand it. We don't try to talk about complex things as a human species anymore. We just brush it all off because we're overwhelmed as our lives. This society that we have built has completely overwhelmed our senses, and it started to really overwhelm our systems. You know, when social media was invented. And that's when the statistics went extremely high. And I think that talking about these issues is extremely important. I think that we need to promote thoughtful thinking about our mental health individually and as a whole species, and encourage people to look, below the surface of their own lives, to look at the reasons why they are here. And, whether it be spiritually or just with the power of knowledge. And I wanted to talk about a lot of different things on this podcast, and including, mental health, trauma, nature, spiritualism, religion, the human body, psychedelics, especially using magic mushrooms, science, and many other subjects. And I think that I have a list of my podcast subjects. This first 10, I think 8 of them are dealt with mental health. I think it's extremely important, especially with this year 2022, that we openly talk about our mental health more as a society, and encourage people individually to face their own trauma, because we all carry around trauma, and it's very evident. A lot of people don't realize it, that trauma comes through our insecurities. It can come through anger. It can come through not having the ability to forgive people, and especially through hate. And hate is the number one thing that you can see through trauma. It's just reactions to people's, to the way they were growing up in their own environment, and not processing it, or never acknowledging that it's there, because it's in all of us. As a human species, our bodies, it remembers and it stores trauma, and science has been able to prove that somewhere in the brain, everything that has ever happened in our lives is stored, and it has an impact on our lives. It has a subconscious impact that we do not, that we really have no control over. And we are a very, very complex species of animals, and our brains are extremely complex. How we ever evolved to what we are is really a mystery. And I hope that we can actually talk about that too in a lot of these episodes about, why are we here? What are we doing? What's our purpose as a species? And what is the purpose of all these things that are around us? This reality, all these other animals, all these plants and these complex species besides us. Because if you just really think about what this planet is, it is truly magical. And I want people to realize that and connect back to, in essence, nature, which is what we are. Our mental health has declined because we have separated ourselves from nature. We think of nature as a consuming. We want to consume, and we don't think about the consequences of what we do. Like, people don't realize how fucked our kids are, and I hate to use that word, but there's no other word. I don't think we can reverse the effects of what we have done, but I think that we can evolve as a species, and we can save ourselves. But we have done a lot of damage to our earth. We've done a lot of damage to our brains through our diet and through just the society that we have built. And I think people need to just, look at all that stuff below the surface and just search for their own answers to their own lives. I also think that sharing knowledge is very, very powerful, and I hope this podcast encourages people to share their own knowledge, maybe with me through a comment, or just reaching out to me and sharing their own experiences with mental health, because I think that talking about it is important. Open up about your own trauma to somebody in your life who you trust. And I hope that knowledge of what we all learn in these podcasts, or what we all share, is used in other people's lives. Is really important. I think that we were all put here to be, in a community force, to heal as a community. I don't think we were meant as a species to find any healing alone. Because when you try to heal by yourself, all you do is make yourself hide more, usually, because our brains are extremely hard to understand. And when you talk about what you're feeling, or, how your mental health, it encourages you to dive deeper into what is actually going on. Because a lot of our mental health issues are explainable other than, taking a pill. Just taking a pill does nothing. We've forgotten how to dig deeper and look into our own lives, our own past, and look into why we are the way we are. That sadly is what Western medicine is. It's more, it encourages more of fixing the symptoms instead of fixing what causes the symptoms, which is what I really want to encourage on these podcasts, is going after, this, why you have the symptoms of your mental health, not just covering them up. But chasing trauma is not easy, and that's why I encourage people to find help with a friend or their significant other or their own family. And I hope a lot of these podcasts encourage that and help people understand their own mental health. I think that's pretty much it on why I started this podcast. I hope people keep listening and more people listen. My next episode is going to be about magic mushrooms and how to find healing in them. I've put this episode ahead of the other ones because I've had a lot of people reach out to me about how, I used the magic mushrooms, because a lot of people are like, well, I used them in high school and I didn't find any healing. And that's not how these mushrooms work, really. So I wanted to share a 3-step process that I learned. It's very similar to what Johns Hopkins is using in their study of psychedelics. And it seems like when you use this 3-step process, there is serious consequences, serious positive consequences that happen inside of your brain. So I wanted to share that knowledge with people in my next episode, and I wanted to get it out quickly because I think we're entering a year where where psychedelic use is basically being encouraged, it sounds like, and people are using them and finding their own healing. And I think people should use them, and but use them safely. And I'll explain that in my second episode of how to use them safely and how to make your life better using them. So I hope you guys join me on my next episode, and you guys stay warm and stay safe. And I hope you enjoy your first day of the year. I'll see you later.